high school, every student have access to practical learning. We want to ensure that before students get to this campus, they know how to code, they know how to build robots, build projects, they understand engineering concepts, and have enough experience so that when they come here, they're here to build network, build businesses, create jobs, and not to acquire knowledge necessary. And that's the goal of the KNUST-TEK network. You can connect with me on the various platforms, on Facebook, there, and the rest. Beyond what I shared here, and what was shared in my profile, STEM Aid is a new startup I started 2 years ago. And the goal for STEM Aid is to produce learning materials, practical learning materials for junior high school. So today we have a lot of junior high school students who are already learning coding, building electronic projects. So by the time they should be done with junior high, they already have some experience in coding, electronics, among others. Now one might ask, why is it that today if you want a ride, you just have to pick your phone, press a button, a car will come and pick you to wherever you want to go. Or if you're hungry, you pick a phone, press a few buttons, then food will come to you. It's what we call the fourth industrial revolution. That's what is happening. And it's not just in Ghana, it's happening across all over the world. And it started with the first industrial revolution back in the 70s, where the world discovered the steam engine. So it was one of the greatest inventions at the time. So when the world discovered steam engine, it could power ships. So we have the shipping industry coming up. We needed to build steel companies to build railway networks, because we could also power railway as well. To open up possibility for trade. Now countries and continents could trade. During this time, we had an opening of the ports and harbors as well, because this technology changed how people do business. Again, there was also a revolution where they shifted from agriculture and hunting to going to school to get skills so they can work in the factories. And that's where education started, traditional education. From there, we went to the second industrial revolution, where we discovered oil and electricity. So the invention of oil and electricity gave birth to a new revolution, where now we have to have programs such as petroleum engineering, electrical engineering, electronic engineering, computer engineering. All these engineering programs also started at that revolution. That revolution gave birth to all the electrical appliances we have in our home. All the companies that manufactured them also were built in that revolution. From there, we went to the computer age, where we discovered computers and internet. And this is where we came to meet most of them. The Microsoft era, the Apple era, the Amazon, the Alibaba, the Facebook. So that was a revolution they all ride on to build their empires. Today we are seeing a new breed of companies such as OpenAI and the likes also building on this revolution. Because that revolution is the AI, IoT, robotics revolution, or what we call the fourth industrial revolution. And as this revolution is happening, we are going to see new industries emerging, new job opportunities emerging, the traditional jobs fading away. And when we talk about the fourth industrial revolution, we're basically looking at the blend of boundaries between the physical world, the digital world, and the biological world. We are going to have a lot of industries or world coming together to create new industries, new economy we've never imagined before. We are going to see the fusion of AI with robotics, AI with blockchain, AI with VR, all creating new industries, new economies, and new opportunities. The first technology I want to emphasize on as part of the technologies driving the revolution is 5G. Currently in Ghana, we don't have 5G, but some countries have already started 5G. And even within Africa, we have a number of countries already working or running 5G. Now, 5G promises us to have a very fast latency, and when you have 5G network, you could download a data worth 1 gig in a second. What it means is that the moment you click download on the website, on the phone, the file will move straight to your phone in a second. The moment you hit upload, data worth 1 gig, move to the cloud. And with such a faster internet connectivity, the possibilities are endless. With 5G, we can have driverless car. What it means is that all our vehicles on the road could be driverless. With 5G, we can have mission-critical applications such as flood detections real time, emergency response real time, among other things. With 5G, we can have immersive experiences virtually. With 5G, we can have smart city concepts or projects developed across the place. Our grid will be connected. Our water bodies, our traffic system, every system we run, infrastructure system, will be smart when we have 5G application. One of the other technologies we're going to look at is the Internet of Things. With 5G architecture making it possible for billions of devices to be connected to the internet, because architecture for 5G runs on IP version 6, which has no limit to how many devices or things that can be connected to the internet. When we have 5G infrastructure built, the next applications are going to be connecting every single thing to the internet. So when we talk about IoT, we're not just looking at our mobile phone, our laptops, and servers connected, but we're talking about every single thing, both living and non-living. Now, we look at some of the connected things that we're about to see. Our fork is going to be connected. So we have the likes of a smart fork that can predict when you're going to be hungry, what you're going to eat for lunch, how fast you eat, the temperature of the food you're eating, among others. So using a smart fork, a lot of data are going to be collected to generate insight, and with the power of AI, the possibilities are endless. Another innovation is smart toothbrush. Imagine you forgot to brush because you inherited to come here this afternoon. Your brush will be buzzing you with notification, reminding you that today you have not brushed. It's able to track how long you spend brushing, your brushing hygiene or routine, how frequently you brush, among others. So as you can see, all the data are going to be collected by just using a smart toothbrush. And with AI, you could predict within a demography how many people brush a day, how long they spend brushing, whether they just eat the paste and wash their mouth, or they actually spend time brushing, among others. We also have smart egg tray. This smart tray can track the number of eggs you have in the tray, wherever you are. Whilst you're here, your tray can tell you the number of eggs you have at home on your phone. It can tell you the location of the eggs that are likely going to spoil within a period of days. So it's recommend the eggs to start eating. Right. So this helps to ensure that you don't get your eggs going bad. Imagine this for the poultry industries, the Indomie joints, for the households that are egg consumers, and the possibilities the solution could bring to everyone. We also have smart gas cylinders. So whilst you're cooking, you monitor the consumption real time on your phone, wherever you are. And when the gas is going to run out, it can tell you that within a week, 2 days or 3 days, you're going to run out of gas. So make preparation for refilling. Imagine having a platform connecting all the gas in the country to the various filling stations around the neighborhoods. So that's the possibility of what IoT is going to do with some of these use cases. We have a smart dustbin powered by solar. Whenever it's full, it sends its location to the collectors. So at any point in time, Zoom Lion at your office can monitor all the bins in the country and know when they are full and plan their collections. We have the smart socks. These are socks with sensors embedded in them. It can tell the size of your leg, the number of steps you walk in a day, the number of calories you burn in a day, and even how fast you walk. All can be collected from wearing the smart socks. And these data are going to be on an app on your phone. Right. Now, another technology that is also driving the revolution is robotics. Today, there is robots for almost every single thing you can imagine. We've not gotten to where robotics seeks to go, but the possibilities of what we are having today is endless. So when we talk about robotics, we're basically looking at the designing, the manufacturing, the assembling, and the programming of robots. I'm sure you've all seen one or the other or heard about Sophia. Sophia is the first humanoid robot to be developed and has citizenship. So very soon, Sophia and her sisters and brothers will be competing for jobs, the same job we are going to be doing. Because they've started having citizens, they have rights, among other things. We also have this humanoid robot called Amika. Amika is the first emotional robot. Amika can smile, can cry, have flexible skin, has very incredible facial expression. So when you're speaking with Amika, if you are not told it's a robot, you might not be aware. You might not know of it. We have robots also helping with teaching in the classroom. We have robot assistants helping students to learn, engaging them as well. And we have robots for receptions. Companies have started introducing robot receptions. So very soon, all the self-service stations and activities are going to be run by a robot. Then we have Boston Dynamics. They are robot dog, also coming into private security. So rich people now are buying these robots for protection. And Amazon CEO have one. Wherever he goes, it protects him. Okay, so this is also a video of the new, please let's pay attention to the new robot. So this is a new version of the Boston Dynamic robot, and how incredible it is. Complex engineering. Right. So that's the current or the new developments in Boston Dynamics. So a robot like this could rotate 360 left and right, among other things. The possibility and application of this is also endless. Now, robotics have so many use cases beyond what I've shared. There's so many applications. They are in the farm, in the house. Even countries have started producing them for companionship, right, among others. As we speak, we have a robot too on Mars rover, collecting data about Mars, sending them to planet Earth. So the application of robotics, it's enormous. Then we talk about virtual reality, the future of immersive experiences. A time will come, education will happen right here in your bedroom. You might not have to spend money with hostel, coming to classroom, among others. You can be in your bedroom and still have the same experience as you physically have. And that's what virtual reality experience provides. There are companies working to advance this technology. One of the popular companies driving this was Oculus, now sold to Facebook, now Meta. So this is the reason why Facebook rebranded to Meta. They want to be the metaverse company. And when we talk about VR, I'm sure you have experience of VR. But if you don't, I brought one here, the new one, Meta Quest 3. I'll be happy to let you experience after we close. So with VR, the possibilities are also endless. In the area of healthcare, students can have virtual operations, surgeries in VR whilst you're learning. In manufacturing, a whole assembly plant could be built in VR. Training programs in manufacturing can be done in VR. There's a company in Ghana called Relu Interactives. They built a whole shipping rig in the VR. So students go through the VR to learn how to assemble the whole rig on the sea in the VR. And that's also one of the startups in Ghana doing. In the area of education, all the practical labs, all could be simulated in the VR. In the area of real estate, when it comes to properties, tour, among others, all could be put in VR. So instead of you roaming 10 different houses or homes to look for a place to rent, you can have all in VR and have all those experiences after you're done with what you want to go with, before you drive to the place to go check it out. In the area of retailing, the future of window shopping will be in VR. You can sit in your bedroom and travel across the world and do all the shopping you want virtually. When it comes to tourism and recreation or hospitality, you can tour the whole world in VR. You can go to Dubai, go anywhere you ever want to go in VR. And there's a company today working on adding smell to the VR headsets. So when you're in the environment, in the VR, physically you can also smell how that environment smells. So if you're at the beach, you should be able to feel that smell of the beach in the VR. And these are a number of things happening with this technology. Okay. The next technology is 3D printing, which is also changing what we call additive manufacturing. So with 3D printing, you could literally design three-dimensional objects and print them out as physical objects. And this technology is also doing a lot. We look at some of the use cases. When it comes to parts, plastic, today you can literally print every material, from plastic to wood to metal, among others. So they are all materials to print objects. The area of education, a lot of things can be printed as well. When it comes to construction, this is the future of our homes. We are no more going to be building rectangular houses. You can have building any style, any shape you want, because the design and the printers are going to be able to print them. So these are all samples of houses that were 3D printed that people are staying in now. In the area of food industry too, people are using 3D printers in the food industry to print chocolates, different shape and style, cookies, toffees, among others. Then we talked about AI. When we talk about AI, we're basically looking at putting the human intelligence into machines. So we know human, we have our senses, we collect data, we have our reasoning, be able to process them to make smart decisions. The concept of AI is able to put the same processes that happen in the human brain into a machine. And when we talk about AI, usually in movies, we have that predictive, how AI has been predicting movies, like the likes of Skyfall and Terminator, but that's not what we have at the moment. The whole journey started back in the 1950s, where a computer scientist called Alan Turner had the idea of building a software that could mimic human intelligence. So the success of his experiment started the whole roadmap for AI development. So from 1950, we experienced Apple Siri in 2011. So when Apple Siri came in 2011, that's when we begin to feel how AI really works. Then from there, it moves. We have Amazon started with the Amazon Alexa. We have IBM started with IBM Watson as well. Then Google also started with the Google AlphaGo. Then the whole race started. Today, we have a new breed of AI happening, and we look at what is happening today. So when we talk about AI, we have two main types of AI, the narrow or weak AI, and the strong or AGI. So when we talk about narrow AI or weak AI, we're just basically looking at the kind of AI that are very good at specific tasks. So on the social platform, there are some AI tools that are good with filters, could give you a very nice filter, and that's all what they can do. There are AI that can help you with recognition, facial recognition or voice recognition, and that's all what they can do. So these are all specific tasks, and that's narrow AI. But then we have the other type, which is strong AI. When we talk about strong AI, we're looking at having the whole complete intelligence of human in a machine. And this development is what we see with Sophia and America. Tesla also working on Tesla bots. Recently, there was a robot CEO also leading a company, among others. So a time will come, we're going to see robots coming, robot and AI emerging in the form of human, to be able to do what human is capable of doing, and even beyond. And that's where we're heading to in terms of general artificial intelligence. There've also been a new breed of AI we've seen recently. Started with the OpenAI, with their ChatGPT development from 1.0 to 3.5, which was made open for the world to see or feel how beautiful AI actually works. So with generative AI, we're basically looking at training AIs with data, and after the training, this AI is able to generate new data which literally don't exist. And that's what generative AI is all about. And data could be, or things that generative AI could do, could be text, audio, video, pictures, and others. So these are some images generated by AI. In the area of fashion design, we can use AI to design new concepts. This is also generated by AI. Based on the African country, it's able to pick the culture, our identity, and create our dressing pattern as well. So you could see over here, this is Ghana. Where is Ghana? That's Ghana. Kofi and Amma over there. Right. In the area of animation, when it comes to character creation, 3D assets, we have AI tools that can help you generate all this. We will look at some of the real use cases of generative AI. The first is the popular rockstar, ChatGPT. I'm sure you all use ChatGPT. No. Has anyone tried a 4.0? Okay. All right. So generative AI, the first one that got the whole world attention is ChatGPT by OpenAI. I'm sure you've also heard of Gemini AI. So Bard had evolved into Gemini AI. So also by Google. So you could see something. I went to Gemini AI, I asked that question. You've seen the response of AI. I'm going to show you other types of AI, and I'll show you my best AI for the future of search engine. We also have Meta AI. I asked Meta AI the same question, and that's what he gave me. Then there's Claude AI. So Claude AI was built by a team of engineers who used to work for OpenAI. So they resigned from OpenAI and started Anthropy. And Anthropy, their product is Claude AI. This AI is very good with facts. So if you're looking for research that could give you facts and figures, Claude AI is the best place to use. Then we have Perplexity AI. So this is the future of search engine. What I like about this AI is that when you search for something and the thing do not exist, it's created for you. You search on Google, Google gives a lot of hyperlinks, about 10 or more. You have to read each of them. This will summarize all the information you need from the hyperlinks. And if you need image that do not exist, it go ahead to generate it for you. So I asked you the same question, and this was the feedback I got from the AI. It gave me the answers. It created images to explain what I was also asking as well. So this makes learning more interesting. It combines visual and text in your search outcome. We also have the first emotional AI. If you have a broken heart, talk to Pi AI. It will make your day. If you have a stressful day, talk to Pi AI. So Pi AI was built by the founder of LinkedIn, Hoffman. He started Pi AI. So the name of the company is Infectious AI, and their product is Pi AI, the first emotional intelligent AI. And yes, this AI can make you happy, can make you smile, can engage you very friendly. If you don't know it's an AI, if you're not told, you might think it's a human being. Right. Then when it comes to image generation, these are some tools for AI image generation. We have DALL-E by OpenAI. So all these pictures were generated with just a prompt. Then we have, on Mother's Day, I tried Meta AI. So I asked Meta AI to generate image of happy Ghanaian mother with their kids celebrating Mother's Day. And these are the outcome of some of the images that Meta AI generated. And then on the Girls in ICT Day, International ICT Day for Women, I tried same, and they gave me all that. We also have Midjourney AI for generating abstract images. So it's very good when it comes to abstract image generation. Then we have visual AI, also changing the fashion space. So if you want to do shopping online, visual AI would help you pick your body size, pick the clothes you want to buy. It fits on your body virtually. Once you like it, before you go ahead to pay for it. So that's a virtual AI. Right. Then we have this AI tool for generating motion images. So if you want to have GIF or images that have movement in it, with a prompt like that on the platform, this image will be generated for you. So all these are image in motion generated by Runaway AI. We also have this AI for video content generation. So those who are into content creation, the prompt was to generate a tutorial for Trello. And all this video, the video has audio, and the content was generated by the AI. All what you do is you put a prompt. It creates a whole 5 minutes content for you. So when it comes to content generation, we have AI tools to explore for that. Then recently, OpenAI launched their new video tool called Sora AI. It's yet to be open to the public. So with Sora AI, you can generate videos as well with a prompt. So very soon, we all have access to Sora AI. So you type a prompt like flying paper plane, then the AI will create all this video for you with just a prompt. When it comes to sound, we also have AI that can create sounds, beats, rhythms, among others. Unfortunately, you can't hear, I'm not sure, but this could play if we had sound connected. Okay, so we'll skip it. So it's a very beautiful rhythm created by AI. Last year, there was news that Harvard University was introducing an AI professor who was going to teach computer science students level 100 coding. So even in academia too, we have AI also coming to the place. And this is a CEO of Stability AI. He had resigned though. They started Fusion AI and all that. So he said in the next 5 years, there'll be no computer programmers. It's arguable, but that's what he's saying. So we'll have to wait what happened in 2030. Okay. So among these are other technologies driving this revolution. So we looked at the fourth industrial revolution. There are so many technologies driving them. Some of them include quantum computing. And when we also get into the depth of that technology, it's going to be revolutionary as well. We have anti-aging and longevity technologies. So with this technology, we can all buy 10, 20 years to our lifespan. And they are coming. Then we also have the likes of space tourism, where probably in the next 5 years, we'll all be able to pay for honeymoon to go to space. There'll be space hotel, among other things in space. Then we have green technology coming up, the metaverse. With genetic engineering, it has been applied a lot into plants and animals. But we're going to see a future where when human beings are born with some diseases, we'll be able to go into their DNA, edit the diseases, and they'll be okay. That means that everybody with sickle cell could be fixed forever. And this is what these technologies are coming to do. We have nanotechnology, blockchain, among others. Because of time, I'm going to move fast. All these technologies came with challenges and opportunities. So we'll look at some of the challenges and opportunities they present. One of them is Africa's growing population. Do you know that by 2050, we are going to be 2.4 billion human population in Africa? And out of this number, 60% of them are going to be youth under 25. So if you look at the population growth, you could see that by 2050, the world will be 9.5 billion, and Africa will be the largest population in the world in 2050. These challenges that we see in the future, to be able to address that, we need to ensure that students have access to practical learning, that's the STEM education. But unfortunately, only 3% of African students pursue STEM-related career and courses. So I'm excited that we have a lot of engineering students here going to help us in the future. Another challenge is research. When it comes to research, we don't have enough Africans' contribution to research. Africans' contribution is just 1.1% to the world research. And then we have all these new technologies also coming to displace jobs as well. When you look at the rate of automation from 2020 to 2025, you could see that gradually machines are taking away most of the jobs in the industry. Then, according to the World Economic Report, they said by next year, we're going to have 85 million people losing their jobs or job declines, and then we're going to have 97 million new jobs to be created in these areas. And these are the top 10 skills of the future. Every student, irrespective of your program, you should have these 10 skills. On the Future of Work reports, by 2030, 400 to 80 million workers globally are also going to be displaced to these technologies. And at IoT Network Hub, we want to imagine a new future where Africa sits at the forefront of technological innovation. And that's my organization driving this transformation on the continent. Our goal is to explore these technologies to create more jobs and empower the youth so that we'll be able to transit with the world into the industrial evolution. Now, we came up with a Vision 2050, which look at harnessing the power of these technologies to be able to create more innovations, and we do that through community building, training programs, research, and innovation. When it comes to our community programs, we have our chapters across various universities, among others. These are images from some of our community engagement programs. So at our programs, we bring the technologies around for young people to be exposed to it, develop interest, and help them acquire skills. We also do trainings in the various spaces, from digital skills to others. And these are some images from our training programs preparing the young people for 2050. Okay. Now, some programs we've launched include the Otumfuo STEM Festival, which is going to challenge junior high school, senior high school every year to develop innovation in the Ashanti region. So it's a program every year we're going to be running. One program we run is the AirTAD. That will bring junior high schools together to challenge every year. And you'll be amazed what junior high school students are building across the country. So these are some of the projects. Some are building smart agriculture farm, smart homes. They're already doing electronics coding at the junior high school. And these are some of the amazing projects they're working on. So on the extreme right or your left, over here is a smart dispenser. There's a sensor in the dispenser. You put the cap there, the water flow. And these are projects by students. We've also done some projects for females in engineering. And the images you see there are all products from waste, from plastic waste to sachet rubber, among others, being repurposed to different products. Okay. When it comes to research innovation too, we look at the area of education, agriculture, healthcare, among others. And these are some of the innovations that we exhibit during the various conferences in Accra. And we also build local innovations too as well using these technologies. When COVID-19 came, we designed a smart nickel bucket with sensors. We put your hands beneath it, the water flows, you wash, the water ceases. Then we designed a learning kit for every student in the country. So that's our STEM kit, targeting junior high school, senior high school. As I said earlier, by the time they are done with senior high school, they should be able to work if they don't want to go to university. And that's our goal with our learning kit. So in the kit, we have a microcontroller designed in Ghana, also by my team. We have another partner designing robotics kits. So they have this product for schools as well, also made by young people here in Ghana. Then every year we have a competition around these kits where all senior high school, tertiary, junior school, have to design their own robotics kits, print them, and then bring them for the competition. These are some few achievements we have accomplished over the past years. Because of time, I'm going to move on. 2018, we won an African Entrepreneurship Award. We won a number of hackathons. We got featured by United Nations. They have a magazine, the Future 50 Innovation from Africa in 2020. Then we have partnership with the Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology. Last year, we won a couple of awards in STEM, among others. And there's also funding for entrepreneurs as well. We won a number of them as well. And last year, we won the Best Educational Startup of the Year. This year, a lot is happening. My slide hasn't captured this year. Maybe we meet again, we'll talk about this year. So in conclusion, what I want to challenge is that by 2050, we need to build a better Africa. Because our population is going to grow, our problems are going to be double. If it's unemployment today, by 2050, we're going to see the same challenges and even beyond. And we have a vision for a new Africa, and this is the kind of Africa we want to see in 2050. And we need all of you here in the room to be able to get us there. We want to make sure Ghana, Africa, is a very good place so that no young person would love to leave the country. If this is your country, would you want to leave? Right, I'm sure you don't want to. So as I bring my session to an end, I want to challenge you that the future belongs to those who can imagine it, who can design it, and those who can create it. It's not something we have to wait for, but something we have to create. And if we don't start now, then the question will be, when are we going to start? Then if it's not us, you and I here, who are going to start that future, then the question will be, who is going to start? So I want you to always remember that we are the future and we have to start now. These are some partners that we work with globally, locally, and across the continent. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to be the keynote speaker for this program. Yeah. We have a WhatsApp group across the continent. If you want to join, you can scan the QR code to join our community. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua Okwajeman. That was a wonderful presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. All right, so without wasting much time, we would want to move to our next speaker. Yeah, so this speaker I'm about to introduce holds the title of Sorry about that. So yeah, our next speaker holds the title of European Certified Professional Engineer. I think there are more for you to cheer about, so please hold on. Let me finish and then you clap for him. So yeah, he holds the title of European Certified Engineer. He's a member of the German Association of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. He completed both his undergraduate and postgraduate studies in Germany, specializing in electrical and electronics engineering at the Technical University of Berlin. He has extensive industrial experience in hardware development and software programming. He has worked as a field application engineer with Nanotron Technologies GmbH and as an embedded systems and firmware engineer with Promise GmbH, both in Berlin. His career also includes contribution to ProContour GmbH, Special Engineering, and Bundesdereckai in Germany. His expertise extends to computer networking, security and access control, gained during his training with ABB, Cisco and N-based company. He has honed his skills in microcontroller and digital systems processor programming at Aglia GmbH in Berlin, and completed his student's research paper and postgraduate thesis at the Heinrich Hertz Institute of Berlin. After spending over 2 decades in Germany, he returned to Ghana to contribute his wealth of knowledge. He has developed written codes and troubleshooted systems for numerous renowned companies, including VW, Rittal, Siemens, ThyssenKrupp, Deutsche Bahn, Panasonic, Eaton, and Bundespolizei. He has a profound passion for embedded systems and joined the Department of Computer Engineering, KNUST, in July 2014. Currently, he lectures in semiconductor devices, linear electronics, object-oriented programming, computer architecture, embedded systems, operating systems, and computer vision and robotics. His postgraduate courses include embedded real-time operating systems and intelligent systems and robotics. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, help me welcome the man, your campus father, my campus father, our campus father, Engineer Benjamin Comey.
Okay. Good afternoon. I hope you are all popular. Okay. So, in the next few minutes, we want to discuss or get you ready for the job market in Africa or the Africans tomorrow job market. So, how do you prepare for this? I would say it's just simple. Smile, but curse. Smile, but curse. Simple. You smile, and then you curse. Pick them one by one. Because market, the journey to the job market is rough. Smooth. It's misbehaving, eh? Okay, so we can make it smooth by always smiling and then apply cast. Okay, so if that's the case, then let's understand smile. By smile, I mean you have to be strong. You have to be very strong. You have to be motivated, or you motivate yourself. Okay? You have to be intelligent. Intelligent. You have to be literate. You tell me you are literate, but I will explain to you what I mean. And above all, you have to be educated. So, always strong or smile, but okay. So, let's take them one by one. If you take the job market in Ghana, for example, your chances are 30, 30, 30, 10. 30, when you have political network. Another is when you have social network. Okay? The next 30 is the one according to merit is mostly based on luck. I will explain how luck can help you. Sometimes it's good to be at the right place at the right time. Okay? You visited a friend and a call came in. They say they need 2 people and you were there. They gave it to you. So, luck. The 30%. So, how do you prepare yourself? But luckily, there are jobs worldwide. You can sit in Ghana and then work for Berlin or work for America. But to do that, you need the right skills and know-how. How do you get this? Also, the internet, as we know now, has become a global village. So you sit everywhere, everything you want is at your disposal. So there's no excuse not to get a job. There's always some for somebody out there. But hello? Yeah. So always smile at cars. So let's smile. S, you must be strong. M, you must be motivated. So turn your hobby into your profession. Look at what you know how to do best. Motivate yourself. Or allow others to motivate you. Allow people like me to motivate you. If possible, be relocatable. Don't say that you are in Accra, so if there is a job in the western region, you don't go. You can even move from Accra to Lagos. Okay? So, above all, to do all this, you must tame what I call the lazy dog. The lazy dog. It's not easy to tame this dog, because it's a spiritual one. I don't know if you've noticed. Sometimes when you want to prepare for your exams, you sit down 1 hour and something will tell you, oh, you've learned enough. What are you doing? Chelsea is playing. You see, there are some voices talking to you. That is what I call the lazy dog. If you don't take time, you listen to that voice and then you go and fool around. By the time you finish and you leave here, you realize that you don't have the skill set for the job market. So be motivated. The next one is to be intelligent. Intelligent. So who is an intelligent person? For you to be intelligent, you must pepper. Pepper. Yeah. How do we pepper? You must perform useful function, not useless function, driven by desired goals and current knowledge. That's your P. Then your E, you must emulate from great personalities, scientists, or people you admire. Okay? Then you process. Not all that information they give you, you just take it. You must allow your brain to become a microcontroller. A brain that is a memory can only recall things, but information must be processed. So you process the information you have. And you must learn. Learn by example or learn from experience. Let me give you a typical example where you learn from experience. Let's say you came to the first year, you were fooling around, and then you trail a course. The experience is good, You learn from it. In your life, you will never trail any course again. So you learn from experience. Or you look at your friend who is having that challenge because he was doing bettings, and then you learn from the example of that friend, Okay, so you learn by example or you learn from experience. And then adapt to environmental or society. Things are changing very fast. Today they say AI, tomorrow they say quantum computing. How do you adapt to it? So if you put everything together, you must pepper. If you can pepper, you are intelligent. If you are intelligent, the job market is open for you. You can also create your own job if you so wish. Okay? So pepper. for the I. And then the L, you must be literate. Literate. They said that the 21st century illiterates are not the people who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Read and write, all of you can read and write. Perfect. But your problem is, oh, you say, I know how to program Java. You know how to program Java. There's no job in Java. There's job in Python. Then you sit there. You don't want to do anything. Then you become the 21st century illiterate. You can read and write, but you are not literate of this generation. So we have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You have to do something called lifelong learning. Okay? Every day we learn something. Okay. Then, the E for your smile. Be educated. Let me stress it again. Be educated. Don't be schooled. You must be educated. So, to be educated means you learn your stuffs according to what is called the Bloom's taxonomy of education. Bloom's taxonomy of education. And in this taxonomy we have levels. The first level is for you to remember what they teach you. And if you stop there, then I will say you have been schooled. You are not educated. Your brain is just a memory. But you realize in an intelligent system, the main thing is the microcontroller. So your brain must rather be a microcontroller. So you don't stop there. You move on to understand whatever they teach you. Let's say initially we will say Ohm's law V is equal to IR. Then you remember. You don't stop there. You have to ask yourself, what happens if I manipulated the I? How do I influence the R? And so on. Understand and then apply. Apply knowledge. Application of knowledge is wisdom. So if you can apply all that we are going to teach you here, it means you are wise. So you don't stop there. You have to move on and do some analysis. Assuming I should say, oh, come and collect $1 million from me, everybody. You don't just jump and then come for it. Do the analysis, process it, and see whether maybe I'm going to use you for ritual sacrifice. So do analysis. And then learn to evaluate. But at the end of the day, what you want to become is what? Creative. And if you are creative, I can assure you, you are educated. So that is education, according to the Bloom's taxonomy. So now that we can smile, we don't just smile, but you smile and then you curse. So what is the meaning of curse? We curse. C-A-L-S. Let's look at curse. C for critical thinking. Critical thinking. The brain must function as a processor. So you process all information and you think critically. A for analytical thinking. You think, always thinking. And L for logical thinking. And above all, systematic way of doing things. So, anytime you are looking for a job, ask yourself, can you smile and curse? If you can do that, then the journey will be smooth. So, always remember to smile and curse. Thank you very much.
All right. So today we know that we have to smile and cast. See, smile and cast. All right. So we'll be moving straight on to have the panel discussion. So our two speakers are going to be on the panel with one more panelist joining them. And this person is a professional with a solid background in health technology assessment and clinical research and biomedical engineering as well. Currently, he serves as a steering committee member at the Health Technology Assessments International. In addition, he leads field operations and senior programs management at Medtronic Labs. He has held several key roles in the past. He served as a technical advisor for Deutsche, there's a certain heavy name here, but GIZ for short, which means the Society for International Cooperation, where he was instrumental in managing international projects and providing strategic technical guidance. He also worked as a program operations lead at Medtronic Labs, demonstrating his abilities to oversee complex health programs. His earlier roles include serving as a project manager at Delphi Imaging, a technical advisor at CPI Canada, and a biomedical engineer at Universal Hospital Group, showcasing his versatile expertise in project management, clinical research, and engineering. House, with a resounding round of applause, help me welcome Engineer Akwesi Apia Obeng. Honorable panelists, we would like you to occupy the middle seats. So, and Mr. Joshua, we would like you to move to the next seat. All right, so now that we have our panelists, I'd like to introduce our moderators for the panel discussion. First, we have this wonderful lady. When the Bible authors were giving accounts, they said that Abraham is the father of many nations, right? But they forgot to add her. She's the mother of many nations. Help me welcome Miss Henrietta Quaynoko-Teria, the Biomedical Engineering Students Association's Women Commissioner. Please keep on clapping for her. She's not here yet. And now to our co-moderator. This gentleman, he's a full-stack developer. He's an AI engineer. He's everything you can think of, right? He's the public relations officer for the Association of Computer Engineering. Joining Ms. Henrietta is Vince Churchill Ankra.
This is working. I'm working on the other one.
All right, so our moderators, over to you.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We are welcome once again to our panel discussion. The topic, as we already know, it's getting ready for Africa's future job markets. Now, a little statistic. Joshua mentioned it earlier on that currently about 60% of Africa's population is below the age of 25. What this means is, in the coming years, we are the ones who are going to be driving the workforce. And as such, it's critical that we all improve ourselves and psych our minds, not just our skills, in preparation for the future job markets. So with that said, the first question I'll put on board, it's often that institutions fail when it comes to equipping students with the necessary skills, or let me put it, all the necessary skills in preparing them for the job markets. And though in some regard you can blame institutions, it's actually up to students also to psych their minds and actively develop skills in preparation for the markets. So my first question is, and I pose it to all three panelists, What do you think students can do in preparation for the job market in terms of readying their skills and psyching their mindsets really to thrive in the future job market? So I'll pass the microphone to those who want to answer.
They want me to start. Yes. In Addis Ababa, we say either the first or with the first. So if they want you to start, it's a good thing. Okay? So how do you prepare yourself for the job market? As a student, it has to start from your brain. The one I said, it should be a microcontroller. Don't blame everybody. We don't have this, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Ask yourself what you are also doing wrong. Okay? Because there's nowhere in the world that we can give you all that the industries are looking for. It's not possible. Let me give you a typical example as a fresh graduate. They gave me a tax. Despite the juicy pay, I nearly told them I don't want it. Are you going to do the same? You have to want it. But if you want it to, it means you have to stress yourself during the study days. So I will encourage you to learn not only what you are being taught in class. If you have extra times, I know most of you have the time, but you rather waste it than using it to acquire extra skills. Assuming you saw that AI is what they are looking for, and to do so AI, you need Python or whatever programming knowledge, and you are being taught in the class. Why don't you get a plan for yourself? Let's say 1 or 2 times a week, you teach yourself. Self this. Okay? So motivate yourself to acquire the skill you are lacking. So you need to design what is called a skill matrix. The skill matrix, and then check what you have and what you don't have. And then how you are going to get what you don't have. And never look for perfection. You cannot get everything. You get some, you don't get some. But make sure you are making effort. Let me pause for now.
All right, so I also piggyback off what engineer just said. But I think one of the key ways that can get you really prepared is to, number one, seek out your passion. And then again, in seeking out your passion, seek out apprenticeships where you know that you can actually develop your passion. And I'll use a personal anecdote, my personal situation. While I did biomedical engineering as an undergrad, I think when the MC was going over some of the things that I do, clinical research was a recurring theme in what I do. But I think the fundamental of biomedical engineering almost has nothing to do with clinical research. But when I was in school, I sort of developed that passion through my final year thesis. And immediately before I even tendered in my final year thesis for defense, I started looking out for jobs in clinical research as a biomedical engineer. And you'll be amazed at the kind of opportunities that it's even available for a foundation of engineering for other jobs that you'd want to seek out. So technical writing, for example, if you're a very good engineer, you are most likely to be a very good technical writer as compared to somebody who just learned writing as a skill. So I think more or less it has to do with the individual, but then try and seek out your passion, what you feel you are good at. Develop the competency with that, and then I'm sure once you start looking out for opportunities, you'll be valuable to whichever employer takes you. So I'll pass it on to Josh.
To add up to what our great men had shared, I would like to take it from a different angle. I don't have a degree yet, but if I should go back to school to get one, I think one of the things I would like to do is to know what I really want to do with my life first. So that aligns with the passion. To find your passion, you need to know what you're good at and what you love doing. So you ask yourself, what am I good at? Then you list as many as possible, things that you're good at. The second one would be what you love doing. So you list as many of the things you love doing. The intersection between these two are the things you're passionate about. Because you don't want to spend the rest of your life doing jobs you hate, right? Whatever passion you have should align with your profession and career that would land you into a future job that will keep you happy for the rest of your life. So that is very, very important. Secondly, I always say that if you are in level 400 and you are waiting to graduate to look for a job, it's probably too late. When you get to level 100, that's when you have to start your internship. Knowing what you're good at and what you want to do, you align yourself with the industries that inspire you to do the future work you're looking at. You start interning with them from level 100. By the time you get to level 400, you have 3 years of experience on your CV. You don't have to graduate school before you look to work to get experience. It will be too late, especially in a world where things are changing really fast. You might not know what will happen in the next 4 years. A lot is going to happen, and you have to wait till 4 years. I don't think you will get a job. So I will advise the level 100, 200 that in your early moment, start looking for industries you want to work with, start looking for opportunity to intern with them, and start building your career along that path. Another thing I will also share is events, conference, and workshop. These are places to build network within the industry you want to work with. So if you want to be an engineer, you want to be a technology person, look for tech events and conferences, because it's where you see the ecosystem players, the companies driving the ecosystem. It's where you find your future employer. So I think participating in conferences, events, will be my approach to ensure that I get to meet people who are building things in Ghana, companies I want to work with, and build my network from there. Finally, I think 4 years in university is too much. Yes, as I said, I don't have one. After high school, I did short course in software engineering for only 9 months, and I had enough skill to start my first company. And whilst my colleagues are in level 100, I was already working in the industry. By the time they're done with their national service in 4 years, I had 4 years of experience. If I have to even apply the same job with them, they'll pick me over him or whoever comes from the university at the time. So I think waiting to graduate, get first class before you look for a job will be too late. So whilst you're preparing your academics, start building your portfolio. In the engineering space, all by experience, like what project have you built? If you have enough projects and you don't have a degree, you are likely going to get a job than having a first degree with no experience, skills, or projects. So I would encourage that find a balance between your academia and practical skills. Today, we're also looking a lot about soft skills. It's not more about technical skills again. Technical skills are important, but your ability to be adaptable, your ability to work under high pressure, your ability to continuously learn new technologies and tools is very, very more important. So I guess this is what I want to share for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've spoken extensively about how we as students are supposed to develop ourselves or upskill ourselves. But my question is, as educational institutes in Africa, how are we going to empower our students so that they are able to take up these opportunities? Thank you. Any one of you can
Okay,
take the
I will
this
give them
question.
advice since engineer works in the educational institution. So my work as a president of Ghana STEM Network, KNUST-TEK Hub, and work with STEM Aid has always been about education. My parents were both educationalists. My mom taught for over 36 years. But I never liked our educational setting growing up. I think at a very young age, I was good with breaking things and fixing them. So I needed such environment where I could learn to do that at the senior high school, at the university as well. But because I did not find that convenience at my time, I thought if I can find school where I can build my passion and interest, then maybe I should create my own environment where I can do that. So with my works today, what we try to do from the basic level is start with the basics. Because if we don't build the foundational from junior high school, senior high school, university is not a place to build a foundation. It will be too late. So most of my work now is with a basic senior high cycle, ensuring that they have access to practical learning. They still go through traditional processes, but we have Fridays set for extracurricular activities. So we have STEM clubs, robotics clubs, among other programs that engage students to also build their passion and interest and skills along the academia. I can't say we should forget our traditional processes like writing BEC, WASI. It would be nice if we don't have to, but that change will take so much time. So running parallel, we bridge practical learning with the traditional processes, run parallel to each other. Then when they get to university, where I believe a lot of the resources and infrastructure have been put in place, they already have the interest, then they can utilize them. Secondly, if you look at where the world is going, some programs should be minimized, humanitarian programs mostly. So I advise the university to limit the number of admission on some programs and expand the capacity for programs that have high chance of getting employment in the industry. And these are things that I think educational institutions have to put in place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Engineer Kwesi, please let's hear your thoughts on this.
All right, thank you. So I think for me, my response will be there are certain things that the educational institutions can do, and they can do it to a certain extent. So for example, they can create the environment where you can add practical skills to the teaching and then the learning. But then there are also external partners the universities can seek support from in trying to get this. And one clear case example is when you look at the teaching of biomedical engineering in KNUST now, there is a project that is being supported by GIZ to upscale the training of biomedical engineers in Ghana. That will happen in KNUST and then University of Ghana, Legon. I happen to have served as a technical advisor to set up that project in Ghana. But it was born out of the need of what Josh was basically saying, that we realized that even for the med tech companies in Germany, most of them want to set up in Ghana. So currently, Draeger is in Ghana. There are so many other companies that really want to set up. Sysmex is already in. And they are looking to employ, biomedical engineers for the offices that they are setting up, especially in Ghana. But one of the problems they realized was that when you start recruiting, you realize that entry-level biomedical engineers, companies also have to spend a lot more just to get you equipped to the level where you can basically be a field service engineer. So the solution to that was that, okay, these companies will come together and help the academic institutions set up laboratories where you can earn practical skills as part of your 4-year training. So I think, number one, the universities have to create an environment where external partners can then come in and support. But then the external partners will also have to proactively seek out some of these problems, some of these institutions where there are pain points in training engineers for the field. I think with that partnership, you'll be able to train engineers who are competent enough to immediately get going once they are employed. And at the same time, you also train the institutions to be able to sustainably create a channel of resources that will be used by the companies that are being set up.
Hello. Yeah. I should tell you. I will say, okay, let's start it this way. I was privileged or lucky not to have studied here. Will you take that? You will not take that? Okay. I did everything in Berlin. Do you know where Berlin is? Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Versteht ihr kein Deutsch? Was soll ich sagen? Habt ihr alles nicht verstanden? So, where I studied, and I will tell you why I returned here to contribute my quota. Their system, they've integrated practical work in with the industry. So I go to school 3 days, and then I go to the industry 2 days. So when you finish, the question of not having experience is not there. Okay, so after working for 20 years, I decided to come back, and I received my first cultural shock. I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm using cultural shock. Why? Because I saw a different system, which is rigid. But with time, I'm beginning to understand why we can do what they are doing there. First, you need the industry. And the industries or the academia must liaise with industry. We need to bring the two partners together. Okay? They will tell us what they want, and then we give what they want. But you see, the continent itself is raw material continent. So I will say that let's take it. But the thing I'm doing for you, but some you are not coming. You have to come to the embedded workshop. Yeah, you have to come to technologies answer. But you are there because you cannot. So little by little, I think there is easy. We need resources, so the industry, we beg them to help us. Maybe this time the helping should be, we should bring a proposal what we want, and then they bring not the money, because money is not always help. We'll tell them what we want, and then they can fund it for us. Okay? So, step by step, you cannot get everything today. Okay.
Hello. So, another thing we find ourselves tackling is the issue of innovation and entrepreneurship. So, as students, we are tasked to identify issues in our immediate environment and think up solutions to these challenges. But it's not always smooth sailing, and students find it difficult navigating engineering solutions to these challenges. What advice do you have for students looking to enter this entrepreneurship and innovation space in terms of thinking and going about the whole process?
Like students, you must also play your part. You see us, we come to lectures, we tell you what we are interested in, but even those we are supposed to supervise or mentor, they don't come. If I look at you, some of you are just seeing me today. And if you check the list, maybe you were supposed to come to me even in your first year. So pay me a visit. Let's discuss. Don't worry about your weak points. That one I can see from the first 1 hour conversation. But that is why you are here. Always come to your campus, Father. Maybe we can do some small part for you. Especially those of you who want to use your brain as a microcontroller. You are always welcome. Okay?
All right. Okay, so I think I would start answering the question with a personal story about entrepreneurship and innovation. In 2015, when I was about to graduate, I think I had an idea of a phototherapy machine. Fortunately, when I walked through the foyer, I saw that somebody had done it as their final year project at the biomedical engineering department. But in my mind, the way that I thought about the solution and the outcome that I was expecting, I think it was way over the top. And I think at that point, engineer, I even did a prototype in 2015 and showed it to you. Yeah. But I think the way that I was thinking about it, it was not going to be functional, because I was thinking about the phototherapy machine even having piezoelectric sensors so that I could detect the weight of the baby and adjust the intensity of the light. It could track the baby when it moves so that the light will follow and then give the right intensity and all that. But actually all that I really needed was something that was functional and that can just solve the problem of curing jaundice in the hospitals. All those other things were just fancy ideas that could come on later. So in answering your question, I think when you have an idea, the best way to go about it is to just do it, or try and get it to a point where it solves a problem in the real world, and then the other add-ons can come on later. Eventually, I abandoned the whole thesis, and then I went to do a research work just to make sure that I finish in time. But if looking back now, I think what I would have done was to just have something very functional that solves the problem. And you never know what that solution can actually lead to. Right after graduation, I saw that some Indian guys had won a grant by the WHO, over $2 million, with a very similar prototype of a blue light with a bassinet that could solve the same problem that I was thinking about. So, I mean, to answer that, sometimes the way that we overthink the problem and the solution to the point that you are paralyzed by what you need to actually solve it. And I think that is where you also need very good mentorships. So if I had sought out engineer very early in my final year, I'm sure I would have been able to get a final product somewhere by June when I was doing my defense. But unfortunately, also for me, I was an introvert when I was in school. So going out, seeking out people to actually help you became a problem, to the point where it crippled what I wanted to do. But I'm also very excited to have seen somebody take the step and then do it in the real world and then test it. So if you have any idea which you think you are overthinking, just try and do it. Put it out in the real world and see. It might work, it might fail. If it fails, you'll learn from it. And if it works, you will succeed from it. So I think that's one thing that I also want to leave you with.
To attend to the question, first of all, we need to be very realistic that entrepreneurship is very hard. You know, and engineering too is also hard. Probably why they all start with EN. So when it comes to product development, taking idea to prototype to product to a company, it's a whole journey that if you're not ready to start that journey, you could go to some place and live and go get a job. But then if you want to go into entrepreneurship, let's start with the mindset of solving a problem and willing to spend the rest of your life solving that problem. That's a mindset. So for students, I would encourage interdisciplinary project work. So if an engineers want to build a project, there should be business students in the team, especially if you're looking at entrepreneurship. Because the engineering mindset is always about building something cool. But not everything cool can be sold or people will pay for. And that fills the subject of entrepreneurship. So it's always important that you start with a customer. If you're going to design a solution, we all made some of the mistakes. I did say, usually when you sit in a cubicle or dormitory, build a solution. When we finish, we give it to the customer to use. Today, that's not how it's been done. If you want to build a solution, you first have to go to the customer who is going to use it and understand what we call their pain points, how they feel about the problem. And then based on that, you get more insight into the problem. You start with the problem, understanding deeply about the problem. Then once you have the deep understanding, then you come with a number of assumptions of what could work for the problem. You take it back to the customer and share with them and get their feedback. Then once you have something, you start development processes. And the development process, you have what we call MVP, minimal viable products. If you want to build a solution that do A, B, C, D, minimal viable product requires that you build only one feature of your solution and give it to the customer to try it and collect feedback. Once that is accepted, before you go ahead to introduce the other features. And that's how most of the apps we use today are built, like WhatsApp. It started with just testing messages. Then every year they keep upgrading, releasing new features till we have today. So when it comes to engineering, the process is so hard that if you want to build a complete solution, before you give to the customer, and the customer says, we don't want it, first of all, you've lost a lot of time building a solution nobody's using. Secondly, you spend a lot of resources and money that you cannot get back. So it's always advised that you use a methodology called the lean startup approach. And there's a book for those who want to go into entrepreneurship called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. I recommend for you. We also have a new model for solving complex problems, like problems we face in Africa, called design thinking, where you put the customer in the center of your design. So today, solutions are being designed. We don't build them, and you have to design with the customer in mind. That would be what I can share, but I'll be glad if there could be interdisciplinary project works. So instead of engineers forming a group on a project, we could bring maybe business school, and some students will be engineers, some will be business students, and they're industry specific. So if the solution is for agric, it would also be nice to have agric students in the team. Collectively, it's helped with the solution development. I work with Ashashi University on their entrepreneurship capstone program, and what they do every year is that they have some sort of amount of money for each student in a group to build a business. So as part of their program, you have to build a company, create a product, make some sales before you complete your final project. And this really helps the student to understand the complexity in entrepreneurship firsthand before they even come out to start their own business. And I think these are some of the ideas we could look at how we can try them here. I will be happy to start something with the departments if they are interested in going that line as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It seems these days there is a trend in AI, and in your presentation, you took us through the different models of AI and what they can do. So do you think a time is coming that we will be competing with AI to get jobs? And what are some of the skills that we need to have as students coming into the industry?
Thank you for your question. I think we are already competing and we are losing. Yes, I'm saying that because if you look at the future of work, every mundane jobs are going to be automated. And most of the jobs we see today are jobs built in the third industrial revolution. I mean, what I mean is that all the blue-collar jobs that are the mainstream of employment today are all getting automated. All mandate jobs that we do mostly are going to be automated. Even drivings are going to be automated. So what is going to be challenging for humanity in the future is to be able to use our smile. So the smile and car principle, because today the machines we have, they cannot feel, like they're not emotional, they don't have imagination, they don't have intuition, they don't have perception, they don't have reasoning yet, right? And these are the human faculty that if we're able to tap into it, we'll always be ahead of machines, sorry. The challenge with us that we are not adapting fast enough, and these technologies are also growing rapidly enough. So what I can say is that we need to be human to be able to stay competitive with machine. And being human means that we go into our inner self to find our purpose in life. We go into ourselves to find our creative abilities, our ability to think, our ability to be creative. These are human traits that we've lost over some time, probably because of our training processes and all that. But if we're able to go to tap into that, then we could be able to build intelligent machines that could do the boring works while we focus most of our time on more productive tasks. And if you look at the future again I was once asked a question whether AI will supersede human intelligence. It's one of the global discussions happening called the singularity, where it's believed that someday AI will become so powerful that they can take over humanity. We leave that for the future, but I think if we can always be more human, we'll always stay competitive. And one thing we need to also understand is that this is not the first time we've seen a revolution. If you go back when automobile came, before then, all transportation were horses. If you want to move, you have to go by horse. But when the invention of car came, and it's revolutionized the whole industry, all the people who were riding horse, caring for horse, feeding a horse, they lost their job. But then the automobile created a whole new industry. The same way with the computer age, where internet came, computers came, all those who weren't using them lose their job, the space station and all that. But today we have so many jobs like Uber drivers, data science, machine learning, engineers. We never imagined that some years back. So what it means is that human beings always have the ability to even create something new if there's nothing for human to do. And we're always going to tap into that creative power of human to create more jobs that we don't know yet or how it's going to look like. But there's a hope that we'll always be able to create more jobs, just that we don't know what it's going to look like and how it's going to be. Just like we created AI, taking our jobs, we'll create something else for humans to do. Thank you.
We would create something else for humans to do.
Okay, so I think for me, like Josh said, with the evolution of AI, just as it's going to take out many jobs, it's also going to come along with the creation of more jobs. And what that will lead to is an ecosystem of interconnected jobs all coming up as a result of the AI revolution. To better prepare yourselves for that, I think you have to adopt the mindset of a lifelong learner. You shouldn't be that person who gets stuck in a box and all you know is your Laravel, Java, Python, and all that. As AI is coming, other models of learning, environments for creating codes will also come. So if you are one person who is stuck with, okay, I'm very good at Python and I'm never going to change, when AI comes, you're more likely to be affected. So you have to develop the mindset of a lifelong learner, and you should be very quick to adapt to changing environments, because that's what AI does. It creates a changing environment very quickly. And so how fast you're able to adapt to that change of environment will also determine how you are going to survive in the next revolution. So lifelong learning and an adaptability to change is one thing that if you equip yourself with, you are going to ensure that you survive the upcoming revolution.
So Engineer Kome, in your profile, I realized that you work with intelligent systems and robots. How can we leverage AI to help us be innovative as students and even people going into the industry?
Yeah. If you are intelligent, you never have to think about the future. Just pepla. Because all this AI they are talking about, the center of attraction is the embedded. You cannot train any machine, you cannot deploy anything without the embedded. That's 64 kilobytes. Small but very powerful. That's what you did. Yes, embedded is not for idiots. Just make sure you can pepper. You can think well, critical thinking, analytical thinking, then systematic way of doing things. You see, the reason why it is difficult for you and I now is the same problem you are facing. But I said you have to be literate. You learn, relearn, and then unlearn. Okay? When I left Ghana, I was using the setting method. Because I remember A-levels, I solved. And as soon as my colleagues are having challenge with some question, they will come to me. Then I will look at the question and I will say, oh, this one, June 79, it was repeated June 81. Then they will shout, Kaku, Kaku. So, I thought that was all. But when I left here, the method they use made me realize that we have to go back to our education system, to the drawing board, and start from kindergarten. We need to do something called fantasy and imagination. Let me tell you, my children are in Berlin. They don't learn until they are 6 years. So kindergarten is not education. Nobody teaches you SOSO before until you are 6 years. But what do? Fantasy and imagination. They take them to the zoo. They watch the animals. When they come, they give them paper and pencil to draw. Do you see you are going to imagine? Then you draw a fish, you put something there. Then you ask the teacher, why is this thing there? Then he will explain to you. You see, you are processing. So the brain is working right from the beginning as a processor. But if you store it with SOSO, GOGO, LOLO, it becomes memory. You see? And later you find it difficult to go away from that trend. You get it? But when I got there, I realized, oh, this SOSO, GOGO, or memorizing things and then solving will not help. But anytime you learn something, you have to apply it. That is the challenge you have now. So if I were the Minister of Education, we are going to do the system such that, let me tell you, the Germans, they have 3 systems. They have what is called the university, and then they have the technical university. Don't confuse with what you have, oh. And then they have University of Applied Sciences. Okay? The technical university, that is where Mercedes-Benz, VW, all of them, they have their basis, groundbreaking theories from to create a company. So it's supposed to be half hands-on and half this thing, but not set up. Hands-on, we have two types. The technical university should give you the designing, the creativity, and then the poly that they've changed to technical university. They should, anytime I come out with something, they should be able to troubleshoot and set it up. So the changing of the poly, if you ask me personally, I would say it's a wrong move. Okay? But they need a real technical university where they teach you how to create your own company through innovation. Okay? The ideas that you learn in class, you apply it. Let's say your final year project. If you come to me very fast, we can start it from year 3. So by the time you use it as a final year project, we are in a certain stage. You get it? And if it's so good, why do you want to go and seek for a job? You can create your own job out of it. You get it? So I'm asking you, I'm telling you, my doors are open. Those of you, unfortunately, you must pepper. You come and let's see what you can do, because I designed a lot of products. I think this group have not shown you anything before. Oh, okay, well, you will get a chance. So I came here thinking I've stolen something from the white man and I'm coming to give to you, but I realize you are not prepared. It's raw material. We still have to prepare you. So let's prepare ourselves first by knowing how to process information. Okay? You have to perform. You have to what? Emulate. You have to process. You have to what? Learn, and you have to adapt. If you can do that, you are ready to kickstart. And AI will not scare you at all, because something must make it work, and that is embedded.
Thank you very much, Engineer Tommy.
All right, so it's often said that time flies when you're having fun, right? Unfortunately, we are nearing the end of this AI conference. But before we conclude, Engineer Kwame, during his presentation, said you need motivation. Motivation from people you can look up to, people you can admire. And he's also mentioned that he has quite a few products he's designed. And I'm sure all our special panelists have amazing projects that when we hear about them, it's going to motivate us. It's something is going to spark that fire in us that can actually take us to the next step. So to conclude our panel discussion, we are going to take some submissions from our panelists on projects that they are proud to have worked on and something that can motivate us as we conclude the AI conference. So since he already alluded to that fact, we will start with Engineer Kwame.
Yes. When he was reading the CV, he was having challenges pronouncing the Bundespolizei. He said, what was it he said? Okay. I did a project, and even today I'm thinking of doing it here, but I don't know how to go about it. When I was with Nanotron, the German police, they came, and my boss called me to the conference room, and they said that these are the directors from the German police, and they have some low-hanging fruit. If they say that, do you understand? They have some money to spend, but it comes with an idea. They said there is money on the street. Okay? But how do we get that money? Then they begin to tell us the story. Let me tell you the story. The German law is saying that if you are driving a car, the tire profile must be minimum 3 millimeters. Okay? But they say time is money, so they don't want you to go to the DVLA before they check. So they want to get your tire profile measurement while you are driving. Do you understand it? So it means profile measurement in real time. What are they going to do with it? Because if your tire profile is less, 120 euro, you'll be there and the letter will be in your box. At my place, anytime you receive letter with colored envelope, you have to eat before you open it because it's problematic. So they said we should do that project for them. So what happens is that you've done semiconductor devices, eh? So the knowledge, what they are giving you is not for nothing. CMOS. Do you remember? MOSFET. You say the MOSFET can be used as what? You want me to change this to a lecture room, eh? Okay, so what I did was to get a CMOS camera which is attached to a very high-speed microcontroller. Okay, and then we dug where they want to use it. So they are going to open dig the ground of the road and then put it there and cover it, leaving some lines. So you may think you are driving through some lines, but as soon as you pass, they will get it and they will be hiding somewhere. Then they will take the measurement. And because the owner is registered, if you have your profile is less, they send it to your team. We're so happy. Today I'm proud of that district. So I want us to use for Ghana DVLA. Because I think all the trotros and the taxi will get them. Because you see the type profile is like my hair, Sakura. But anyway, I don't know Ghana's law. How thick should your profile be? Do you know? You don't know? Anything goes. So then we can use it here. But this one is making a lot of money there. You get it? Just put it there, measure, because if you stop the person, they will tell you they are going somewhere. Leave them, let them go. As soon as you pass through the line, there's a camera in front, there's one at your back. So the interrupt will be generated. You are going to school again, eh? And you say, back camera, front camera. They will send you the picture, you see you are like this. Your face cry is showing that they got you. And that is the project I'm proud of. I have more than 40 of them. When we have time, I will show them to you.
Okay, so I mean, for me, I think there are also quite a number of projects that I've worked on that I'm very proud of. But what I would like to share with you is the one that I'm currently working on. Currently, I'm supporting ministries of health around sub-Saharan Africa on how they can lower the cost of health service and also improve patient outcomes using technology. And the way that the company that I work with is going about is we have an open source platform which we developed as the engineering team. It's called SPICE. And we are currently using it to manage NCDs. So the main focal areas are hypertension and then diabetes. But it's a whole integrated approach towards primary health care. So it can do NCDs, TB, malaria, vaccinations and immunizations, and so many other things. But what we do basically is it's a software platform that allows you to manage patients end to end. So typically, if you go to a health facility and you have hypertension, you can see the doctor, they will check your blood pressure, give you some medications, and tell you to come back again after 30 days when your medications are run out. That traditional system that we have, it creates a lot of problems. Number one, for the health system, especially if you have, if you are going towards universal health care. So if people pay, the government pays the insurance of patients, that means that if people default in not coming, their conditions get worse, and when they come, the health system spends more in treating them because now your condition is worse. If you used to have hypertension, now you may have a complication like stroke or erectile dysfunction or any other complications. So that becomes costly for the government to actually manage you. So with technology, you can actually track patients from the time they come to a hospital to the time they go back home, so that even as they are at home, they are receiving some sort of care through telehealth services. So the platform ensures that there is an end-to-end management of the patients from the first time they come to the hospital and to the point where they are in the communities without seeing a doctor, so that by the time you go back and you show up to the consulting room, your condition is improved. And in that way, you lower the cost of your health services. So it's all about data science, machine learning. We also use large language models to actually improve the behavior of patients, so that instead of you waiting to go to the hospital when your condition is worse, the platform actually tracks you, identifies people who are at risk, and then immediately refers them to the health facilities. So that is currently one of the projects that I'm working on, which is very exciting. It's hard funded by pharmaceutical companies right now, where we are trying to test that in the Western region. We've done that in the past 2 years for over 85,000 patients in Ghana across 9 regions. The outcomes were very successful. In Ghana currently, there is something called loss to follow-up. So the rate of loss to follow-up patients for hypertension and diabetes is about 26%. What that means is that if you have 100 people, just about 26% of them keep going back to the hospitals for either prescription refills or lab tests or consultation services. But with the platform, we're able to triple that. So with the platform, you're able to do about 68% and reduce the loss to follow-up. What that means is that people are able to start, they don't develop complications at home, and the health system spares less on them. So the health system actually makes savings, and that's what they pay us for, to ensure that your outcomes is improved, and whatever savings they make, they pay the platform users. So it's one exciting thing that I'm sure one way or the other you'll hear about it very soon. So that's all.
I have been involved in a number of projects. The first one was back in 2013. As a teenager, I joined bank, and when it was done back in 2013, I was given 1,000 cedis check back in 2013. That was quite a big money for me. I did not even know what to do. So that project, I've been on it for the past 10 years now, mostly building investment software for banks. Then I got bored with the financial space, so I started IoT as a project. And I'm very proud of IoT today, because 8 years ago when we started it, we did not imagine how big it would be. The idea was simple: bring our friends together, let's learn about new technologies. Today, as I speak with you, we are in 20 African countries with over 20,000 membership. And this project had opened a lot of doors that I never imagined could be possible, including getting an invitation to go to Europe to teach in a university. They sponsor everything. I'd had a chance to travel to a lot of African countries. I didn't have to pay a penny. All right. So to me, I think this has been one of my greatest projects. And through that, we have built a number of startups. which I've also received a lot of funding, both from government and other agencies. Today we work with GS, we work with Ministry of Communication, we work with UNICEF, and we work for international organizations on projects that they sponsor as well. So that would be my greatest project so far.
Thank you. Before we finally draw the curtains on our discussion, we would like to take a few questions from you. So if you have a question, kindly come down here and ask our panelists. Any questions from our audience? Hey, you don't have any questions.
Don't
Does
you guys
it
have
mean you didn't
questions for
take
the man?
notes? Please come here.
Okay, so once again, thank you for the opportunity. So my question generally just goes to everyone. Okay, so for the first question, would that mean that we talked about meta AI and then how engineering is evolving nowadays? So it's like, I wanted to ask if in the future all other courses will become obsolete, basically those doing science and everything. If you don't know anything about engineering, computer, you are doomed. Like,
I would say you are misunderstanding the AI. AI is supposed to complement what we have. It's not supposed to remove anything. Like I said, if you remember when robotics started, everybody was saying, oh, robots will take over. But we need a robot when the job is hazardous or is we are going to repeat or is hard, difficult to do. So we put a robot there. So therefore the AI, we have to make laws because ethics is another problem that we have to look at. We are not going to use it everywhere.